Hello boys and girls. So today we're going to be learning our colors of the rainbow. So hopefully you got an opportunity to listen to the story that I posted with your assignment and also the rainbow song. And we're going to talk about the colors of the rainbow. We're going to learn how to cut out our materials here and also use crayons, because we want to make sure that when we're coloring that we are really coloring like big kids and we are staying inside the line and we're not leaving any white space. So I only have 3 materials with me today. There is a copy of the rainbow on your Schoology page. If you don't have a printer and you need this, I do have extra copies in the office. I also have a pair of scissors, and if you notice here, the colors of the rainbow. So I have red, or rojo, I have orange, naranja, yellow, amarillo, green, verde, blue, azul, indigo, and I have violet or morado. So when I'm cutting out and I'm using scissors, we want to be safe and use them in a safe way. We're not running with scissors, we're going to use them. And when we have these holes right here, boys and girls, if you haven't used scissors, I'm going to place my thumb in the smaller hole and it's going to be on top every time I'm cutting. I don't want to cut with my hand turned like this. I want to make sure that when I have it, my hand is cut like this and my thumb is on top. And then notice I actually have all my fingers in there, but you only need 2 or 3. I like cutting with my all 4 fingers in there, but it's up to you on that. But your thumb does need to be on top. Make sure you don't have your hand upside down. That's not a good way of cutting. It's gonna hurt your wrist too. So my thumb is on top. When I'm cutting, I am going to cut, making sure that I slow down and I cut on that line, but I'm leaving it. So I'm gonna cut this off, and I like to do where I don't cut like the angle first. I'm just gonna cut straight across to cut this part off. It actually makes it a lot easier to get your pieces cut out if you do it in pieces instead of trying to cut one whole thing. So notice how I'm going really slow, boys and girls. I don't want to rush it and then mess up my rainbow so that it's messy. And I'm not turning my hand. Notice I am rotating the paper as I cut. I'm gonna rotate the paper. It makes it much easier so that my body and my hand are actually staying in the same place. So I'm gonna cut off that arch right there. So this will be the bottom and the last color of my rainbow. So again, now I'm gonna flip my paper. I'm still sitting here. My hand right here does not really move. I'm taking the paper to my scissors. So I'm holding it. I'm actually gonna move my hand over here. Just be careful where you put your fingers. And I'm going to rotate the paper. See how I'm turning the paper as I cut? And I'm going slow, but I'm turning the paper. I'm not really turning my hand or the scissors. I'm rotating the paper. Just remember that, boys and girls, because it's really easier to cut out instead of trying to angle your hand in all kinds of weird positions and you can't do it. So when you're done cutting it out, just like I say in the art room, make sure that you put your scissors away and your trash goes in the trash can. Don't leave it for mom and dad to pick up, because we want to clean up after ourselves. So I'm now ready to get started on coloring, and this is where, like I said, we really want to make sure that we are coloring like artists and that we're coloring neat and we're not scribbling anymore. So I'm going to grab this one real quick and show you some things of what we're not going to do. So I'm going to grab my red here and I'm going to color, and I'm just going to go like this, and I'm coloring in all different directions, and I'm coloring too fast. And look, I'm getting outside the lines, which yes, we cut out, but what happens when you get to these other colors down here and you're scribbling? Then we end up in our other colors, and we don't want to do that. So another thing is we don't want to color in different directions. See how I go this way and then this way, and we're going to go this way. We want to know, this doesn't look neat. And you see how I'm leaving a white space here? We don't want to do that. We want to make sure that we are coloring really pretty, boys and girls, staying inside the lines, filling in our white spaces. So let's try it the right way. So I'm ready to get started. I have my rainbow. It's neatly cut out. And then I have my 7 colors of the rainbow, and they're in order. I have my red, my orange, my yellow, my green, my blue, my indigo. And that looks kind of tricky because you're wondering, are those the same color? If you don't know the name of your colors of your crayons, boys and girls, they say it at the very bottom, and you can see there's indigo right there. And then I have purple, or also known as violet. So when I color the rainbow, notice I also have 7 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm gonna color these in order, and that's why I went ahead and I placed my crayons in order so that it made it easy for me to stay in order. I am gonna start with red at the very top, because when we have our rainbows, our red is at the very top. So when I color, I'm gonna grab my crayon, and when you're holding your crayon, you hold it like a pencil. You don't wanna hold your crayon like this in a fist, because it will make you break your crayon, and that's not how we hold our materials. So when I color, I wanna color nice and pretty, and I wanna make sure that I'm nice and smooth and I stay inside the lines. I don't need to press down super hard. I wanna stay with one color. So I'm going to continue to color. Notice I'm staying inside the lines, and I'm covering all my white space in here. And I have to go all the way around. So instead of turning my hand and trying to color this way, I'm going to again turn the paper to make it easier for me. So I'm going to turn my paper as I'm coloring, and I'm gonna make sure that I also am, like I said, coloring in all my white space. I wanna make sure it's completely colored in, but notice I'm rotating the rainbow. So I'm gonna finish coloring the red, and then we're gonna figure out what color we're gonna go to next. All right, so I have finished coloring in my red, and I'm happy with the way that it looks. I don't have any white space showing. So now I'm gonna go to my next color. And I kind of have a hint for you, because I already told you that my colors are in order. What color am I going to use next, boys and girls? Well, if you said orange, you are correct. Orange is going to be my next color in the rainbow, and you're going to color it in again, staying inside the lines, and remembering to hold down or turn your paper as you are coloring. Instead of trying to turn your body and your hands across, it'll make it more comfortable for you. And don't press down too hard. The harder you press down, sometimes our hands start to hurt. If your hand hurts, just shake it off. Shake it off. Shake it off. So I'm going to continue coloring in my rainbow, and I'm going to finish with my last warm color. So just so you know, on these, when we'll talk more about warm and cool colors later. We're learning more of the colors of the rainbow right now. Red, orange, and yellow are the warm colors in my rainbow. So think of things that are hot, the sun, fire. Those are our warm colors and what we use to color in things when we want to show warmth in our artwork. All right, boys and girls, so you can see now that I have finished coloring in the colors of the rainbow. I made sure that I left no white space and that I'm coloring in one direction. When you are done with this, I want you to put it aside and keep it for next week, because we will continue our lesson. We are not done with this. Even though it looks pretty, you can hang it on your wall for a little while, but we're gonna need it again next week when we come to creating a collage, boys and girls. So you just learned one of your elements of art, color, and we used lots of color today. We learned the 7 colors of the rainbow: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, purple. And you can see on your Schoology that I also put a way of remembering it. It's called Roy G. Biv for red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. And remember, violet is also the same as purple. Bye, boys and girls. Have a great week.